Hey everybody, in today's video, I'm going to show you the basics of how to start and stop an activity on your Garmin Instinct 2X Solar watch. If you've watched my videos in the past, it's basically the exact same as the Instinct 1, Instinct 2, Instinct crossover. You're going to start with the top right button, it's the GPS button. Now when I press mine, it takes me to my activity listing. The first time you go into this, it's going to show you every activity that comes on the watch, and then you have to pick and choose the ones you want to see the next time you go in. I've got mine saved here. You can always add additional activities, so I can use the up or down button to look at the activities that I've got listed. If I go to the very bottom, I can add additional activities. You never really take the activities off the device. It's just a view that's showing you the ones that you actually want to see versus having to go through that whole list. We're in our activity listing. All we're going to do is use up or down to choose the given activity. The one thing I should mention is depending on the activity that you pick, you might have different parameters. So for example, if I'm going to do a tennis activity, I go to the given activity, press GPS to select it. You'll notice it's asking me additional questions about that activity. For tennis, am I playing outdoors or indoors? Now I'm going to go back, and instead of doing tennis, let's just do a walk activity. When I go into walk, there's no additional questions. It doesn't ask me if it's indoors, doesn't ask me if it's outdoors. Depending on the activity, you might have additional questions that you have to answer. Now, I'm not going to get into all the specifics, but at a glance here, you can see a couple of things about this activity. I'm connected to my cell phone, and it's going to be using my heart rate. You'll notice that there's GPS up here in the top corner that has some X's through it. It's because for this activity, I have turned off GPS. You can change all of those parameters by pressing the up button, and that will take you into the options for that given activity. I'm not going to go into all that in this video. I've done a video in the past that walks you through that. That can get rather complicated. In this video, let's just say everything's set right. We just want to go do a walk. All we're going to do is simply press GPS, and that starts the activity. You'll also notice the screen that's displaying here. It's showing me my distance, my timer, my pace. All of that stuff can be customized in the activity settings as well. So we're out, we're doing our walk. I can stay in this screen if I want to. I can press the back button. I can go to any other screen. The thing you want to be careful with, though, is that activity is still running in the background until you stop it. And for most people, that might not be a big deal. If your activity is using the GPS, though, it can be using a lot of battery life. If you want to go back into the activity, you simply press the top right button, and we're right back into the activity view. We're out doing our walk. We're done. Maybe we stop, get some water, talk to a neighbor, something like that. If you press the GPS button, it acts as a pause. You'll notice that the activity is temporarily paused, and then it gives me a sub-menu here. I can either resume the activity, so I stopped, talked to my neighbor, now I'm ready to start walking again, but I want to stay in the activity. I can press the GPS button to choose resume. If I'm done with the activity, I can simply click save. That would stop the activity, and it would save it to my Garmin Connect account. I can choose resume later, which means I'm not looking to continue it now, but I don't want to stop the activity. I want to come back and I want to change it later. Maybe you look down and you realize, hey, I thought I was going to do a walk. I decided I was going to jog, and you want to change the sport, the activity that you're doing. You could change the sport. You can add a lap. So I finished my first lap. I want to record that lap, and I want to go on to my second lap. And then last but not least, you can discard it. So you did an activity, or you thought you were going to do it, something went wrong. If you decide, I just don't want to save any of the stuff that I've done, you can simply press discard. I'm going to go ahead and press discard. It says, do you really want to discard it? I can back out by pressing the down button, or I can confirm by pressing the GPS button. You always want to go through that menu and choose something, because that's what will actually stop the activity. You'll notice it put me right back into my activity screen, but it's not running. I would have to press GPS to start the activity again. In this case, you would simply press the back button, takes you back to your activities. Press it one more time, it'll take you back to your main watch face. It's really simple. It's basically just press the GPS button, choose the given activity you want to do. GPS button is going to be your friend. It's going to be your start, your stop, your pause, your resume, etc. Anyway, that's just the basics of starting and stopping an activity on the Instinct 2X Solar. I hope the video helps.